WBE, Wave Life Sciences, announced publication of foundational preclinical data supporting development of WBE oral 4 for C9 ORF 72 associated with ALS and FTC.
All righty, everybody. Good morning. You're just joining me. Oh wow, nice 150. We're gonna meet this guy because he never stops. Happy to be back. Sorry I missed you guys last week. I know you guys did. For the most part, we saw some awesome movement. I actually had a really great week as well. So looking to step into this week, do the same. But we're gonna go ahead and get started with our news here. For those of you guys on TikTok, we are live on YouTube right now. If you want to catch it there. So what's up? Good morning. Good morning. All right. Wall Street major index futures fell as worries about an economic slowdown in China and the impact of rapid U.S. interest rate hikes weighed on sentiment. Major European stock indexes fell more than 2%, overshadowing relief from the French President Emmanuel Macron's election victory over the weekend. China stocks plunged in their biggest slump since the pandemic-led panic selling in February of 2020, and the dollar strengthened while gold prices slipped, oil prices tumbled, as lockdowns in Shanghai raised demand concerns. And a couple of top headlines here. Twitter, under shareholder pressure, begins talk deals with Musk. Of course, he's offered, I think it was the 54 mark per share. And they're working out those details. I'm sure we'll find out more here later on. GM and Ford steer into the headwinds of inflation, rising rates. They will report first quarter results this week in an environment that has become more hostile than executives projected when they faced investors in January. ADM and Bungie expected to post strong results as Ukraine war ignites demand. Graphic chip card prices drop, raise questions on whether or not the end of a shortage is in sight. A sharp drop in graphic chip prices could presage the unexpected quick ending to a global chip crunch that has crippled manufacturing from smartphones to cars, and the issue that will be central for one for companies reporting results this week. Alrighty. AT&T, the company, said on Friday Jeff McElfresh, that seems made up, who headed its largest business unit, chief operating officer, part of the U.S. carrier's efforts to refocus its connectivity business following the merger of Warner Media unit with Discovery Inc. We'll see. Try to find relevant. ATVI, the regional director for the U.S. National Labor Relations Board, on Friday elected a union election for a group of workers at a Activision Blizzard-owned studio that works on the popular Call of Duty franchise. UPS. Why is everybody all up on UPS? Do they have earnings this week? I saw a flow for them. That's why I was on them. Manufacturer suggested price, or MSRP, has fallen 41%, by the way, on GPUs. And that's coming from NVIDIA, Qualcomm, AMD, Intel. They have earnings tomorrow, yeah. QNRX, that's moving to the highs here. Pointing Pharmaceuticals announced FDA clearance and IND for lead asset QRX003 for the Netherton syndrome. The more I read, the less sense that made to me. All right, let's see. UPS is a major guide to how the stock market will either rise or like the company UPS, or I feel like what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? All right. as you guys well know, Amazon is dealing with its unionization efforts. That is ongoing, Staten Island. So keep that in mind as well. No new anything coming out of that, but alrighty. U.S. trucking downturn. Really quick foreshadows possible economic gloom. There's been an unexpectedly sharp downturn in the demand to truck everything from food to furniture since the beginning of March. Rates in a overheated segment that deals in on-demand trucking jobs, known as the spot market, are skidding. History has proven trucking to be a possible indicator for the U.S. economy. I can see maybe a sliver of how what you're talking about is factored in there. So that's because when people buy less, companies ship less, and business activity slows. GoDaddy got a price target raise from Piper Sandler, 110 from $94. Equinix, Credit Suisse sent them up to 714 from 673. Apple, yuck. JP Morgan cuts price target 205 from 210, citing lower iPhone outlook, which is totally fine by me. Considering that we swung, I don't know if anybody swung with me, but I did have that last runner on Apple that I swung, and I'm probably going to take profit on that one. I was hoping to stay underneath 160. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I'm going to go ahead and take profit for Bell. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube, guys, so. Twitter defining bullish. I don't think Twitter is enough to actually cause the market to move up, like maybe a divergence, but I don't think Twitter would be the catalyst. Good morning, what's up? Make sure we like you guys are chilling on the TikTok stream here. Good morning, good morning. All right, so as far as my watch list is concerned, so we're gonna stick to Apple and just keep it simple. Coming back after a long week, and it has been a incredibly long week, stressful. So as far as I'm concerned, looking at Apple and running it off of this bottom here, we're pretty close to support, or what I've been projecting as a potential support here for Apple. So personally speaking, I see this one possibly as a red to green trade, maybe hitting the 158.40 level today. But ultimately, I think and agree with Top Shelf, the other admins, that there's a possibility, more than likely, we will head up. Now, today's close, I think, will be pretty important, depending on how that close goes. If we have a strong move to the downside, then that's going to tell us a whole lot about what's going to be happening going forward. But regardless, this is Apple in all its glory. Looking to take profit on this one. Up, I think that there's a target around 163 for a retest, just simple supply and demand. But other than that, I'm just going to be feeling out and determining the market's direction for this Monday, so that way we can plan accordingly. Also got BABA on the watch list here as well. Now this one fell a lot more than I was anticipating. I was hoping to see it maybe around 85 bucks. I'm not sure, and I think a couple of people mentioned to me that they were swinging BABA, or they were short on BABA. If you are, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. But regardless, I'd like to see BABA go and test 84 this morning. Above 84, I'll wait and we'll watch for a rejection, maybe coming at that $85 mark. But ultimately, I'd like to see the remainder of its gap get filled to $81.32. So, now, in order to keep it truly simple here, I also have AMD, and again, just to keep it simple, we're at $88. I have a target of 86 if we fall in lower. Looking at supply and demand, this fits pretty well. This is a key level. So if AMD does red to green, watch for 86 to be that potential bounce level. Maybe giving you a fraction of a leg down at 85.32. But other than that, that's kind of what I see for AMD. What's up? Good morning. Why is Charlie not here? Oh, nice to meet you. NKTX moving to the highs here as well. Does seem like we're getting quite a few price target raises. Nice, yeah, no problem. All right. So I did want to show you this on Microsoft really quickly. So I have this giant red line that is the 71.85 mark, and guess where we're at this morning? That is your pre-market lows. And if we fall from there, guys, we've got a trip anywhere below 270, and I would start looking at the 265 marks. But we are at support. And with support, we can always expect some sort of bounce before seeing the true sentiment take over. So I think today we don't short support, right? We would, in order to get an idea of how things are going to move today, and this is just how I'm going to be operating. Watching hourly candle closes, 15-minute candle closes today is going to be really beneficial with volume in order to get a good direction of where we're going to be heading. Last week, my shorts, especially Thursday and Friday, all came watching the 15-minute time frame for that exact same reason. So, but other than that, guys, just because I'm coming back after a long week, I'm gonna keep it simple. Just gonna trade what I'm good at. I have a couple of alerts set on some random ones. You guys know how we do it. I've got JD, kind of out there running with Baba. This one didn't gap down nearly as much, but it is at a $50 mark, and anywhere below $50, JD could feel some pain. So, yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now, guys. With Microsoft earnings coming up, I see a Head and Shoulders confirming on the 3-month as far as long-term chart. How should we play this? I mean, here's the thing. If you see, and I do acknowledge the Head and Shoulders, there's a couple of these across the market. You trade them in steps. So yes, I'm looking at the weekly right now. So I should be out at least 2 months if I'm looking at taking a play based off the overall setup here. So normally you'd like to look for your bottom supply or your nearest demand zone, and that's going to be the 260 and 262 mark for Microsoft, which isn't too far away, but we would have to break this major support. Now, considering that earnings season is up, there is the possibility that we reverse and start to trend to the upside due to that fact. So if you see something on a higher time frame, that's when this is the way that I do things. That's when I start legging into the position based on the time frame that I see that high probability time frame. So if I see it on the weekly, then it's more than likely going to play out on the daily, and I have a greater insight on why that is looking at that higher time frame. But then I can utilize the lower time frame levels like I do in order to, you know, optimize gains here. So Um, but other than that, guys, that's about it. Today's my watch day. You know, we're gonna see where we're going, how investors are feeling about the market in general, how the news that we've seen is going to impact us. Um, but uh, but yeah, so I'll take a couple looks, or I'll take a look at some stuff for you guys in the Discord. If you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, let me know. All right, so first of all, Facebook, I've been curious to see what this one was going to do. We had what looked to be a cup and handle going way, 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 way back. And I've kind of been a little bit back and forth on this chart right now, especially due to the fact that we have like kind of a crazy looking setup. But this is what I see. So I see Facebook inside of the beginning of a channel. Wow, this channel is to the downside and it actually reminds me of Snapchat and Pinterest, where when it gapped down, it looked like it was going to start trending to the upside, but really it was just establishing the trend. And they say that bear rallies are the best, and you can see right there, that was actually the falling wedge that we had tracked, and then Facebook ripped to the upside. And unfortunately, fortunately, we know where our support is. So 177, 177.50 would likely be where I would target Facebook if you fall to the downside. But the fact of the matter is you are very, very close to that 185 mark. So you could push up above that today, um, and then end up trending to the upside. So I think what is likely going to happen is Monday, Tuesday, maybe we do end up seeing the downside 175. And then going into earnings, we see that trending back up to retest the 218s to, so that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, based off the setup that I see. So first initial move is a short move to the downside. Remember Manny talking about gamma. That's not gone away. And you guys can only imagine the squeeze that would likely happen if we did end up dropping a little bit lower, and then reversing on a dime, which is what looks like it wants to looks like might happen. But of course, we're going to play this one as well. I do have Facebook on the side watch list. I'm just going with the basic ones right now. But I would say a retest level on 195 for Facebook. So what's up? All right, it is 8:48. All right, before Manny and Atlas hop on, guys, I have to make a very quick phone call so that way I forgot about a rental that I have right now. I need to give those people a call. They just opened. And then I'll be back on maybe 15, 20 minutes less. I'm just gonna mute the mic uh on my end. But you guys on YouTube and Discord, obviously, just tune into Manny, and if Top Shelf hops on, same thing. So, um, but anyway, my thoughts today, guys, is a simple, just red to green, um, spies at support. A lot of things happening here, so we're gonna see what happens. But I'll be right back. Probably before 9 o'clock here. So talk to you guys in just a second. Peace.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Happy Monday. Testing. Testing.
General Motors, GM.
Just working on a couple things here.
President Mark Roos saying
You'll
that
blink
they
and it'll
will
be
have a
9:30.
Corvette coming by next
Hope everybody had a
year.
good
That's
weekend.
from a
I survived
CNBC
my
interview
birthday
that
weekend. Thanks for all the
President
well
interviewed
wishers.
right now on CNBC for Golf Mike,
Lots of golf,
GM.
too many drinks. Not big on the drink side like I used to, but that's always fun until it's not. But black coffee's the ruling the roost today. But good times. Didn't go to jail. That's always good. Not like in the old days. Looking at some good trades for today. How's everybody doing? Licking their wounds. Yeah, pretty big machine selling Friday. Lots of us were positioned. We had the VIX target going to 30, and man, did not disappoint. Never brag on a winning trade. Be blessed and grateful that you're in a good position. Look how that classic role reversal. Once you have support broken, and then it flips, and then it becomes your new benchmark. I think it's already fading. Hang on, I got all these messages. It tried to. We may see a small pop. I don't look too much into pre-market volume. You may touch through 30 to get to 3017. But the level I posted it, I'll be happy to post it again. I think it's in my channel. I posted it earlier this morning. Pretty nice support level there at 20, right in front of me, 2606. So that would be my load point. I don't like the VIX as it's a forward-thinking oscillating index. It's not an equity. Inversely related to the S&P. It's spot 30, so you're looking at how crappy are things going to be a month plus. There's a little more to it, but that's basically it in a nutshell. I'm here to tell you, folks, there are no catalysts. I've been consistent for months. There are no catalysts. And so now, how bad are things going to get? The China lockdown, the stuff going on over there. Thank God that's not our country, but scary for those poor folks. Can you imagine locking down Beijing? Oh my God, Shanghai is already one of the biggest cities in the whole world, but so we're getting into some really slippery slopes in terms of geopolitical events. Oil, I'm not worried about. Had lots of questions. Always like taking those questions. Gosh, when you say oil drops, oil is $97, folks. So earnings coming up the first week of May are pretty much pegged in the low 70s. I think remember the one company that had anticipated a higher WTI, but anyway, they're going to print money. So don't worry about oil. I said it'll average 100 plus well into the summer. Summer blends are more expensive to refine. And demand will be strong for the U.S. Certainly an issue would be losing the China demand story. But the big time oil folks say that this is just a blip. And gosh, I've been through a lot of sell-offs on oil with a lot of stackers, a lot of folks that trade right with me here in the chat. And we've taken some beatdowns on some Monday mornings on oil, only to recover days later. I mean, viciously to the upside. I think your next big catalyst will be earnings. I get some messages. Ready to study China emergency lockdown. Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. A good point, Dr. Spy. I mean, global GDP is slowing. I mean, all the benchmarks. Again, if they're catalysts that you see that the world's not aware of, I'd love to hear it. Somebody will see something that most analysts don't. I always like Mike Wilson. I think he's J.P. Morgan, but he's a perma bear, and I guess if you stay one side long enough, you'll end up being right. But it's funny, all the bulls are starting to disappear. keep calling for these vicious rallies, and I mean, it's just not there. So, how do you trade this environment? Look for the key levels on the indexes. I mean, there's some clear lines in the sand. We lose those, that's going to trigger more algorithmic selling. And the problem is with 30 million new investors since the COVID, it was 25, and it's actually expected. It hadn't been verified, but I think most are in the camp that there's over 30 million new investors since the COVID started. So most of those 30 million people have never seen real pain, aka a correction. They think stonks go up. I mean, who doesn't like when you can just, click it and tick it and book it and bank it and Lambo it? I mean, it's fun, just rock and roll. But that's not the way markets work. You can make more money to the downside, so that's what's exciting. I think we're going to see a bottom. I would be shocked if we're having this level of volatility into July. I just don't see any scenario. Doesn't mean I'm dead wrong. It looks like the fireworks are starting. The Fed's gonna make their move. Is it all baked in? No, because it's not certain, and markets like certainty, not uncertainty. So you've got to leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room. But big earnings are getting sold off. Coke had a great print. The company knows how to make money. That was my first job out of college. I mean, those guys just make money because they can pass on. They have pricing power. So I went to the grocery store to buy some stuff, sandwiches, chips, a couple of brewskis, and a few things. Literally for the day, it was almost $50, just for my wife and me. So I mean, inflation's real and not slowing down. I'm working on some trades. I'll have some trades for you here in a minute. Stop and take a breath. South Beach. I was supposed to be at a tournament down in Jupiter today at Jack Nicholson's golf course. My wife did not like that idea. I wasn't coming back till Thursday. If it's free, it's for me. 425. Yeah, pretty lot on trades. I have a bunch of trades, but man, things are just getting smoked. I would look at Tech, TECK, $47 call. It was 24 cents last night. May 20th expiration. That may just come back to life. Like Pfizer, I think while a little bit of move out, everything got obliterated. Indiscriminate selling Friday, Thursday, then into Friday. All your winners, your utilities, energy, healthcare, fertilizer, just stuff got smoked. Look at the Pfizer, $57 call.
GDOT green dot
I like a little longer expiration, May 27th.
Conference call on May 5th.
That's PFE 57.
That's Golf Delta
expiring
Oscar
May
Tango
27th.
GDOT.
It was only 17 cents last night. Keep an eye on that. You may see buyers start to not re-rotate, but look for safety. I mean, folks are going to look for safety. There's still tons of liquidity out there. Bonds are still iffy.
X-ray.
You want to find where the money's going back into. I don't think it'll be in the NASDAQ.
Announcing pipeline
that chart is
prioritization
just,
and workforce
that chart's
realignment.
not done selling off.
Company to discontinue development of BDTX 189 and reduce workforce.
Those guys will lead us out. Still love semis, but don't be early on those. We're going
Black
lower.
Diamond says strategic areas of focus
across
on
the board
development
before
of
this is all
BDTX
said and done.
1535
A lot
and
lower.
4933. That's
We'll
Bravo Delta
retest
Tango
those
X-ray BDTX.
earlier lows this year, and I'm concerned to see some of the out of the money multi-million-dollar prints. We talked about some
DKL,
last
Delex
week. The
Logistics
140 strike
Partners
in June on the
increasing quarterly gas
IWM.
distribution
I've
to
always
98
been a
cents
small
per
cap.
common unit. That's Delta Kilo Lima,
bear.
DKL.
And people keep saying, well, there's a lot of good companies in there with strong earnings, and you always like earnings. Yeah, but I don't like our economy.
In the
And
EI, NovaBet
there's a lot of
extends its
trash in
global
the small
partnership
caps
with
too.
Nubai for card processing and alternative payments.
I think you're going to see the
Last November,
IWM get
Victor Echo
obliterated
India in the EI.
like you've never seen. Vale, yeah, commodity, everything got smoked, ton. I mean, there was no safety unless you had just straight out puts, volatility protection. There was market. There was no market
FSLR
breadth.
First
I mean,
Solar,
stuff below the
Leeward
200-day
Renewable Energy,
moving
and
average.
First Solar
I
announced
mean,
1
just
gigawatt multi-year
man,
solar module
you could
procurement
literally
agreement.
just buy puts
Deal for advanced
Friday morning
First
and
Solar thin
get
film
it printed.
module secures LRE's planned build
I don't trade that
portfolio
way. I don't
through
I don't add
2024.
to losing positions. If I have weeks and months
Foxtrot
on
Cindy Lima
expiration, it
Romeo.
looks like easy money. Like, well, it's going to be higher. It'll have strong earnings. It got smoked today. It'll bounce back. We got hit
IBRX
with the China
Immunity
demand on
Bio
oil.
announcing
So
first
love our energy
participants enrolled
plays.
in lung
They
map
will
trial
be good
studying
adds into strength.
Anktiva to activate
uh,
NK and T
If
cells
you're already
in
down in a
non-small cell
trade,
lung
don't
cancer.
automatically say,
That's
"I'll just
India
average
Bravo
down,
Romeo
average down,
X-ray.
average down." It is my favorite strategy into strength to take something that's pretty beat up, 30, 40, 50%, and add a single call to that existing trade.
IBRX.
Simply from that standpoint, you'll capture all the upside from technical bottom as it comes back to retest prior highs or strength from earnings, so on and so forth. Vale, the story hadn't changed. Commodity super cycle still in place. Terrible to look at it when it's all red. I get it. I have people that I help trade. I'm looking at my trades that are down.
PEBK, People's
I
Bank
cut
Corp,
I
out
cut
of their
very
earnings
little.
report.
Cut
Papa
very
Echo
little
Bravo
Friday.
Kilo.
In fact, hardly any long positions. Did some stuff on the equity side. Don't want to confuse it, but you're going to have a very different market, man. It's going to be very, very different
61
days
cents
from
in
now,
earnings
a week
versus
from now,
71
ahead of the
cents
Fed,
in the same period a
post-Fed.
year ago for
We won't just simply
People's
race
Bank
down
Corp
and
first
retest
quarter
the lows.
results. That's
Bottom out and then
PEBK.
start ripping higher. Markets just don't do that. Not that I've seen. I mean, it's just that would be too easy.
Morning, everybody.
Too easy. Hey, Manny,
Morning, Rolly. How are you, bro?
what's happening, bud? I'm good, bud.
No.
1 year older, but still breathing.
Oh,
So
yeah, your birthday Sunday. Happy birthday, man. Late birthday. Sorry
it was
about that.
great,
I had a
man.
busy Sunday.
It was great. Played
Definitely, man.
lots of golf. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I gotta go to Orlando, man. You gotta take me golfing and teach me.
yeah. I got in 36, so I don't. I feel like I played 106 holes. Played with my wife, and then played with some friends, and then beers and cigars, and I played some really bad drunk golf at the last 9 holes.
Oh,
But
alright.
I wasn't driving. My wife dropped me off and picked me up. But, I don't try to get behind the wheel, man.
Oh, I said you don't have. There's no reason
BX
to.
and
All right.
PSB, Blackstone Real Estate
Let's
to
talk
acquire
about
PS Business Parks.
real quick. Let me go over just my morning gamma analysis. So first things first, I want you guys to know that May 4th, right? This is the grace period for the Russian bank. So they will either default or let's see what they gotta do. They have to basically pay 2 bonds in US dollars by the end of the grace period of May 4th. At the same time, this is where our FOMC announcement will take place that same day. So just looking at gamma, looking at everything, we're in about a 45 billion dollar negative, not positive. So we're in a negative 45. We saw that 25% of the puts get closed out as pretty much we were anticipating by Friday's expiration. So with gamma so heavily short, the first thing that we gotta anticipate is a relief rally. We've had 2 days of selling that are monster selling days. Fridays was the worst. But the reason for Friday selling, I ended up looking into it over the weekend and finding out what was the why. So a lot of these guys that were in puts, above 430 that were expiring, right? And on that Friday, they basically rolled their puts down. So when we saw those puts getting rolled, that's when we saw dealers having to mitigate their risk, right, from writing these puts, and they had to end up shorting futures, right? This is the common thing that we're all aware of. We know what these guys do. So all those put walls rolled down. The put wall went, I think, on SPX from 4300 all the way to 4100. So that's where the SPX put wall is sitting at right now. So as for today, SPY support is 420, SPX is 4200. Rallies can be violent as shorts cover, but personally, I think we're gonna continue down for a new yearly low. We have a near $30 VIX. You guys know what happens when we have greater than 28. Option premium is more expensive. Puts are more expensive. SPY puts are more expensive. Any put is more expensive. So keep this in mind. Call side of the option chain moves a bit weird when we're in this sort of like a micro environment. So that's how we're seeing everything. Personally, if I can just be real with you guys, gold is dropping like there's no tomorrow. Gold literally took out 1900 like it was never there. And in a high inflation environment, you would assume that gold would be rising greater than 2K, not less. But in this environment, we know what gold is. We know how manipulated gold is. We know how the banks are short on gold. We know all everything that's going on. So gold declining is sort of telling me that the more I see it, the more of transitory this inflation is turning out to be. Because ECB was downplaying inflation on Friday the whole time that we're speaking. No, on Thursday. I'm sorry. Whole time, Lagarde was saying that they don't see that it's appropriate to raise rates yet. Powell was also being a bit more careful with his words to not spook equity markets. They still got spooked. But from a global Federal Reserve standpoint, these guys are downplaying the shit out of inflation at this point. So if we see gold continue down, I'm not surprised. But I really do think the markets in general they're gonna hit for a new yearly low. We're gonna take out that low that we made from the war, and we're gonna keep pushing down. But into today, looking at equity names, aside from futures and whatnot, equity names: Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, Facebook. These are the big betas that move like there's no tomorrow. Remember, Tesla has been holding up against a fall. So has a lot of individual equity names, right? This goes when I saw that hold up on Friday with how everything was selling off and how equities weren't selling off as hard, and then I find out while doing research that the reason for the drop was just because all these puts were getting rolled down and they were shorting futures. It explains why the indices dropped so hard. Remember, futures were getting shorted versus individual equity names, right? Remember that the VIX tracks the S&P 500 volatility. So if ES futures are getting shorted, what's going to take off? Take off. I'm sorry, the VIX, right? So that's what we saw. That's the move that we saw. I'm glad that I finally have an answer to that question that I've been asking because I couldn't believe it when I sat down at this desk at 3:30 on Friday. I couldn't believe how far the market had dropped personally. But this is where we're at now. Be careful trading equities today. I get everybody wants to short, everybody wants to go long. Just be careful. Equities are not trading the same. If we're gonna see a continued sell-off, then equities need to drop as well. We already saw the big old drop from the rolling of the puts. Now we got to see how the market's going to digest this. I don't think we're going to see a big relief rally. I think this is going to be the same thing as every FOMC. We're going to keep selling before once the day of all this, liquidity and everything. That's when the market tends to reverse and start pushing up. That's where I'm at right now with everything. If we see some relief, it's going to all be driven into macro support and it's going to head down another leg, right? So again, that's where I'm at with pretty much all my analysis for today, guys. It should be a very interesting session to say the least. So let's see what we get. Is that my dad? Potter?
Yeah, it's
Dad?
fine. Yeah. What's up, dude? Real quick, guys. This has been my weekend. I just tried to extend my rental because I needed it one more day, and they just told me no. So I have to I don't think U-Haul can arrest me, but I have to go and drop this van off like right now. So I will be back and I will hop right back on. I just wanted to really quickly, I'm going to leave everything running. But I am going to be taking profit on the puts that I swung over the weekend. That includes the hedge that I took on AA, which is at 64.70 here in pre-market, and Apple. I did have a sneaky little. You guys can pretty much guarantee that I always have something BABA related or China short related. And yeah, so I'm gonna TP on those as possible. But I will be right back, and I apologize, guys. But that'll give the time for the market to kind of set up. I was gonna try and trade the Tesla gap. I think that's one of the more interesting setups right now. But it also looks really, really good below 972.60. So 972.60 is a huge support for Tesla. So keep that in mind, and I'll be going short below that if it doesn't happen before I get back. But I gotta go. I will be back. I'll see you guys in just a minute.
Guys, just an FYI, I just sent my what keeps track of my futures account. I made a really nice short swing on gold last night. Netted me like 60% of my account, more or less. So couple risk off. Just it's Monday also.
Any inputs and stuff you comment on the chart. I love role reversals. It happens all day, every day in trading. So once support is broken, it becomes your new resistance. I think we see a key level on the SPY. I have no idea how the market's going to react, where the volume's going to go. But I think I wrote an S. I'm going to post it. So look, I think SPY with any kind of volume and plenty of buyers, plenty of money out there. I think we could see how we open up and see if we're going to continue. So I think we're going to bounce a little bit, and I would say a short-term target out a week or so, like up to 432, 43. But you can see how the role reversal, once support is broken, how it works. And I'm going to post it right now. You can look at it. You can see once that's lost, it will eventually, in essence, come back and retest that. But that's going to be your new line of sand. That's what I'm watching for, because that'll dictate my VIX and just a lot of other things I'm going to trade today. Thought it was worth mentioning.
It's gonna be an interesting session today. Let's see. Did Garrett go over the morning news with you guys? Guys? Not let me know. I'm show you guys any questions. Gotcha, okay. Well, that gold Wickfield actually went through. I TP'd before. That was easy. Yeah, that was an easy trade. Jeez. Here, BT, look. Give you an example of an easy trade. You know easy trades though. Pretty sure just by looking at it, you saw what I saw. See how we closed that body above that weight? Right, the next move, you just gotta wait to let it impulse down. Once that impulse down happened, then it was just that move up, and then obviously that second 15 was that Wickfield to complete to the upside. Pretty self-explanatory move. But it netted me around 40 points, so shit. 40 points is 40 points, bro. Yep, 100%. You know how gold is. obviously, gold moves like I think impulses, dude. Gold doesn't move like Tesla. Tesla ticks. No, bro. Gold impulses. Gold jumps like 20, 30 points on ticks. Thing is crazy. Both ways, guys. Both ways. You're in the wrong side. You're gonna feed it. Okay, gold. Just wick fill to the moon, apparently.
I'm just typing some questions. I could probably just say, look, it's risk off environment for sure. Dead on right. It's risk off. Have more cash. You're going to see a lot of counter trend rallies, especially in a bear market environment. So you can be really, really, really surprised. And so just being loaded up, well, he said the VIX is going to go to 4188, so I'm all into the VIX. And then there was one trade that was just all VIX. You got to take the market against us, and nobody knows. We're looking at indicators that are from past performance. We're not able to, we can look and say, well, this is probably going to happen. Statistically, chance to say, but we can have a counter trend rally. Gauge the levels. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If you just see we lose some big levels. I guess one of these days, at some point, I think that's going to happen overnight. We're going to wake up to a big gap down. I don't see us. The news is kind of slow. War is slogging on, unfortunately. That's going to be around for a long time, unfortunately. But gotta get nimble, man. I don't think we're going to go straight down. Other markets internationally took a big old dump. Keep that in mind. But man, there's so much money. I want to catch where the movement is, and I'd be surprised if you don't see some movement today.
We have to go and retest macro supports that we broke. That's the issue right now. And it's happening with all the indices. We gotta go retest those macro supports because we can't just flush down like it's beautiful. I get it. How much money there is to be made on a big old rectangle, but how price action works, you need that relief. We gotta let bigger players come in. That's how it always is. So why that 34, 146 or 150 level on the Dow? That was the weekly macro support, right? So we gotta go test that level again. If we don't, we're gonna keep flushing down. But the more straight down we go, the more straight up we release after. Remember this. The war is a perfect example. Straight down, straight down, straight down. News came out of the war. Reverse and goes no tomorrow. Everybody got caught with the press on. Especially the traders that have never been to when they sell the news of events. 29.13, 29 cents to 29.15 snake. But be careful. Because if you get above 2,900, there's a chance that you can keep popping up. Lulu has low. Just kidding. So when it comes to like I said, individual equities, we gotta be careful. We gotta make sure that sell-off, that same sell-off energy is still present in those equity names because if they're present in indices, we obviously know why not. The puts were getting booked. Market makers got to manage their risk. They got to do what they got to do is short futures.
VIX down $1 in 2 hours is encouraging. If you want to see some movement, at least we're not. We haven't gone up a buck. So they're seeing orders right live right now. So it's that's probably the biggest tell for me. Doesn't mean it couldn't pop back up. Got to see what kind of selling. I think a small pop on the VIX. And wait for 2 hours. So it doesn't mean you hit 2606 and load the boat. What's the expiration? It's just a flow. It's a feeling. I have protection out of summer. I think June is going to be our bottom. To be safe, probably have some stuff. Eat your fade up a little bit. Maybe have some July protection. But again, the trade is not just to be all to the downside. We're going down. Market has not bottomed. I don't see a single scenario rip higher from here. Not one scenario. So overall, market is going to be lower between now and June. I think you're looking at peak to trough in the S&P is 20%, probably down maybe 7 or 8. So I mean that's Nasdaq 100 terrible chart. You're going to see some brutal levels there. Wouldn't want to be long anything in that basket. There's going to be some trades today. I posted the PFB tech. I'm not in those trades. Those are cheap dates, way LTM. But keep those in your back pocket. Sometimes those little things are rip for us.
All right, guys. We got about 5 minutes to the bell ring. We're gonna be ready. Everything ready. Contracts loaded. Oh, holy shit, man. Everything has dropped like a rock, man. God damn. No weekly support 188. I'm taking a look at Nvidia. If we see the market open and we see Nvidia taking a big push down below 190, and we see Q starting to reverse, and we see tech starting to have a bit of relief, a good chance that we could see Nvidia bounce. On the weekly, we have weekly support at 188. Oh, well, that's an interesting divergence, Joseph. I'd wait on Nvidia too, personally, because I want to buy into Nvidia. I'm with Brody on that. Trust me, when you think things are cheap, they go lower, bro. I thought Jania was done like at $10. This thing's like a 7. AMD's getting upgraded. Nvidia got earnings on May 25th. When is AMD's earnings? May 2nd. Next week, LOL. That was 7. You can see on the weekly chart. Guys, we got less than a minute here to open. Alright guys, here comes the morning bell. Yo!
What's good?
What's up, Brody?
What are you doing?
Oh, I already read gold, dude. 60% gain on my account last night. I showed it a short swing. Yeah,
60% of the big count or the small count?
the big account, I went heavy.
It was obviously coming to pick me up into the future or what?
No, not that much. But it was an obvious shell, dude. It was an obvious sell. I knew they were going to bounce 1917. There was no way.
They just ripped. I mean, it just did do it.
Gold is trading at 1898. That should drop 200 points, dude. Overnight.
Bro, trading view is trash right now. What is going on? The market's open, and the trading views are loading for some reason. Great.
So I made it to John. I want to read this. Yeah, I think gold is gonna go to 1890, like possibly today, and just hang around there. And these things are pushing down very strong. AMD's pushing up and diverging. Nvidia as well is trying to push up now. Tesla's also trying to push up. Qs are bouncing, as I said this morning. But SPY and US 30 are putting back very hard. You put it in a word so you guys understand. Kikyo is bouncing, US 30 is pulling back SPY.
You have a problem with that guy.
I really get that. Qs are green, meanwhile SPY and US 30 are still red. Nvidia is moving. Tesla reject. I would be careful, Snee. Remember, Tesla didn't drop with the whole market. Tesla was getting held up. Be careful if you short Tesla. I would prefer waiting for a low day or wait for the commands on the hourly. Sometimes sometimes a reject can be a breakout. You get what I mean? QQQ is not trying to go red. This market is like so many emotions in like what 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Yeah, Apple's been putting back the SPY. I'm just watching it. I'm good.
And we didn't even attempt to fucking fill SPY. Was it 5%? No, it wasn't.
SPY support. Yeah, John, it's hanging around that 420, so that's gonna be our level. Dude, if we push 420 today, and we go to like 415, 410, I'm gonna be like shocked as hell. Mostly because today is another expiration.
Yeah, well, today, what's Delta this morning? Did you look? Or not Delta, but like, yeah,
45, dude, 45.
45 billion.
Yes. I was like, what the fuck? That means by Friday's close, like actually by the close, they must have closed at give or take 50 something, and we should have 25% of it.
Yeah.
With that expiration. That'll below 33,400. That's a balanced area. Below that level, we might see out those trigger buys. So careful if you're going short into these lows. I'll be like happy shorting when I see buy retest 430 and I see the down retest 34 146. That's when I'll be okay shorting again. Morning, Keenan. Wow, the video is going ham, guys. But it already had its first rejection at that 196.50. That's the 200-day. Here, let me show my screen with you guys. I didn't realize I wasn't showing. Oh, part of the light. Here, let me get another light. Alright, you see the video right here? You see that 20-day, right? Now it needs to build. If you guys have missed this, don't worry. This needs to build here to push it to this level here at 198 level. Because right now the video is getting rejections of the 20-day, as you can see right here. Look at that perfect rejection. Beautiful. Nothing to get blown like right.
We're so oversold, guys. Don't be jumping in, 1 minute green candles or 5 minutes. We're technically oversold. I'm obviously watching energy and things like that. Fixed ground, that's great. I think we're gonna catch a little bit of something. Uh, yeah, but we should get some kind of balance from here. Buyers are stepping in: fertilizer, energy, utilities. There goes Pfizer's made up some ground. Yep, we're out of the woods at least for you know.
Future town rules on the daily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I know,
know,
Oh my
Charlie.
god.
Yeah, dude, look at that.
What the fuck is that, dude?
I
Just
think
your
it's
average.
broken. It's crazy.
If it doesn't break this level, I'd take a moment.
Yeah, if it doesn't break the level. That 1890 could possibly be that wick fill of that daily that you see, that little dip
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
us. It's deeper. Let's see. I want to see what gold does. GDP on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be interesting.
Everybody's still trying to find out, trying to build over that 20-day and push into that 198.34, which is near the regression. At the same time, it's also a pivot point. Tesla high today, building into 1,000. AMD also wake faking and trying to push highs. US 30 is building now. It's trying to put in a 15-minute pin bar. SPY is also pushing higher today. Qs are also pushing up. Let's see how long this release lasts. The VIX has like a small little gap. That was the gap level overnight. But once we get that acceptance of VIX over 30, that's when the fund's gonna begin for real. Sure. There was a lot of them, man. Oh, I remember. I remember that one.
I'm in a small SPY short position.
Yeah, I haven't closed out KLT. When I saw that pin bar on the Dow, I hit sell. It worked, but I just closed out the broker. Because from here, another trade, it's 1 more 30.
My stop loss is going to be the wick from the last 5-minute candle, not a leg drop.
No, I did it. I closed it out. I don't want to do. I don't know. Fuck that. I'm gonna get rid of my 7%.
No.
I agree with Brody on his VIX analysis.
Are you agreeing on SPY?
The only reason why I was comfortable going long on the gold off of that dip was because the RSI was hitting, oversold in every single time frame.
Yeah, no, it is hitting oversold a lot of times, but the buying pressure is weak as hell, dude.
Yeah. No, I know, but I was just an algo relief,
Yeah.
Are you short or long on me or Mao?
Me?
No, somebody was asking me.
Listen.
He's short, okay. Neil's trying to push that low and push this wick fill that you can see here on my screen. We got a day. It's like Neil's also like look at the date, right? Because remember, anything that when you try to short, you gotta make sure there's room. So we see that daily, right? Neo has this gap to push. Neo needs to push this gap, so Neo needs to go below 16 to push this gap fill, right? All the way to 15. That dotted gap fill, that's where Neo's trajectory looks like it's headed. But you gotta keep in mind, sometimes this does not happen in one whole day unless there's news. Pretty sure Bob does the exact same thing. Exactly. Wow, literally the same chart. Same exact scenario. You know what I mean? If you're trying to push this new low, you guided that it get its point. Bob already gapped down. So if you're short, you should be up in decent profits. You can take out some of your gains, leave some as runners, and wait for that move. But they're all pretty much the same. They gotta push that and make new lows. Oh, dude, I gotta order a RBLX system.
Why?
For house. From like 2018. I told the owner, I'm like, get ready for the change order.
For the house.
Yeah. I've been doing the house since 2018, dude.
Oh, 98. Wow. Okay, my brain just completely went somewhere else for a minute. You meant let me HVAC.
Yeah. You're good. Sorry.
I was thinking of something completely different. Yeah, I don't know why my brain just completely went somewhere else, but yeah, that's exactly where my brain was going. It first me went. I was like, what? I forget about the other one, bro, because they're trash.
I know.
I'm just kidding. They're trash. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go decide. If you're ready to put a trailing stop, I'm up 20%. Don't make a green trade go red.
Nvidia's pushing down now. AMD as well. Any gain Nvidia and AMD have, they're giving them up right now.
Death.
Yeah, but that's how those price upgrade scalps are. I've talked to you guys about these. They're just scalps. These are not like macro moves that are gonna last the whole day. Price upgrades are just liquidity funds. Like somebody's trying to dump a position. It's cool. Trust me when I say that, dude. It's always something that literally
upgraded and built it.
Yeah.
Especially with small. Especially with small, like for
and random little upgrades.
yeah.
So when you get those downgrades after earnings, they're probably trying to buy. The market was meant to be opposite of everything.
Alright, got it. Up 25%. Do you?
Guys, Rony added CF longs. He's gonna post it in the Swings channel. If you don't know, Rony, top shelf, same person. Nicely jack stepper.
Go smaller. Go ahead and just break 410 for me there.
Oh, dude. Jesus, man. Fuck. Recession. The Dow may push a low here of day. You can grind this easily to like 3470, 33,470,
Where I
33,490.
got up 36% on the SPY short. Alright, I'm gonna trim a little bit here, lock in some profit. Alright, I have 3 contracts left I'm gonna hold on to for right now. And I have a trailing stop.
There's SPY, pre-market low incoming, and then 420. Dude, if we push 420, oh my god.
Bam.
Like, low, near
You're
low
low
incoming.
incoming. Yeah, the reason I was trading right there, bro, was because I don't know what I was gonna do with that bottom. I could put it in the free tickets.
Yeah.
Because look at that wick too. It put in that wick after the like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. bottom. And that wick was lit up stopped short of it.
Oh, you mean this one right here? The one at 8 a.m. for here open?
Yeah, but look at look where it stopped compared to the 5 a.m. base it put in.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, there's somebody buying there.
Exactly. That's why I trimmed and then I put a trailing stop on the rest of my orders that I have, the rest of my position.
I don't know anything else. I gotta fucking get my trades in to come back. Because I'm pretty sure that there's somebody trying to hide their buys. But they're buying fat blocks on the bids. That's why it keeps bouncing.
It is bouncing.
Yeah. I'm with you. You're there with 100,000 shares. The order gets filled a quarter of it. The algo slowly goes away. I get scared. Yeah, if we lose that level, John, it's gonna be interesting, dude. If we get SPY pushes that 420 level.
No, that's awesome. No, we didn't get it. It's all going to continue. What a recovery on the gears. You see that?
Yeah. But my girl's cousin in Europe, I told you he works for a financial regulator. We've been talking. Yeah, they're downplaying the shit out of inflation over there. Like, straight up. They're downplaying everything, dude.
Well, but here's the thing, bro. They're only seeing inflation on food and energy. Everything else is staying relatively flat.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the inflation they're seeing on food and energy is high. I'm not downplaying that. It is there. Like where we saw inflation on like housing and stuff, they really weren't seeing that like we were.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, and they probably are down there, you know, regardless.
Yeah, like they're obviously I think gas is expensive as hell over there the year, but
Yeah.
you know who we're screaming at.
Yeah. That's fine.
Always.
Well, it's literally in any economy, it's always who can you point the finger to.
Just an FYI, if you guys haven't noticed, that right now heading to 10 a.m., super choppy open. Super choppy open.
By the way, if anybody was still in the short, my trailing stops all that day, so all my contracts closed off in profit. So. Dr. Spy, I did see your DM. I'll give it a read this afternoon. That's cool.
Yeah, I got it.
What's up?
What up? Who?
What? Who was that?
Oh, great. Well, see, 23.6, that's phase. Is that Potter? I see Potter go green. Dad?
I don't know.
What?
That wasn't me, that was Jared.
Dad?
Yes.
Who is on live? I'm so confused.
What is going on here? You're confused. I'm confused.
We're all confused.
Oh, God.
Who am I?
Maybe. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, this is exactly, we went red and got a big green candle. See what happens.
Now we're green.
I took profit on Apple though. That was tasty. If anybody hedged AA, I think it's gonna tap 63.70. UAL put on board. Where the big green Dignus is at. I don't know, man. You guys take anything yet?
Yes.
Short?
Yeah.
Look at Tesla building. So I'm waiting for the 15-minute candle. We've got 6 minutes left. If Tesla finishes above 990 or 989, I think we reverse. Because look at Apple right now too.
Dude, honestly, Tesla, like, let it sit 1,000 real quick and then just die. So I'd be ready for the
Yeah, but not gonna supply over 1,005. Like all the way to like moon.
I mean
and then it can go back to standard.
the volume is okay at the bell, but it has completely died. Potter stocks. Am I looking up or down?
Literally, bro, the first candle was solid, and then after that, it was like, okay,
bye.
Yeah.
Which, dude, I really hope the rest of. I hope it's not a stop until some of the earning releases later this afternoon.
I mean, everything is at like incredibly pivotal supports. I mean, from Snapchat to Tesla. Like Tesla, if you go look at that 975 level across the board, going back to April 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then today 6 times we've tapped that support. So if anything, yeah. Yeah.
That exact 975 level.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So I personally think that if anything, you know, a light gap fill, I mean, or choppy gap fill, you know, would send us.
I think if anything we'll see chop like we saw to like 10:30, 11. Remember that day, Gary? That was horrible, dude.
Oh god.
I think we'll see that, and then we'll get like either a short covering white, not a big one, but a small one, and then we'll continue down.
I think
But we gotta retest those supports we broke last week.
I think the cool thing here is everything has clean levels. So like Tesla, which does look like it wants to gap fill here. I would say so. It's definitely going to gap fill. But if the gap fill is unsuccessful, then you can look for a 15-minute engulfment or some type of bearish candle close there, and then you could potentially take it short. Because if it does start approaching that support for the 7th time, there's no way it doesn't break it. I just don't. It would take a lot to bend it back over. So pause.
Maybe is anybody talking to that?
No. Everything on my calendar starts tomorrow.
Okay.
What do you?
Tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, because I don't be careful, right? Let me just take a look real quick to be sure. No, I'm gonna be talking today. Tomorrow, there's no Fed officials talking this week.
There's Tesla. Look how weak the candles are on Apple. Nothing there. What about Microsoft? They like to lead. They're going
Dude,
good.
'cause everything's choppy. I'm gonna go head up. I gotta go to train real quick and deal with this.
That company sucks.
Yeah, that company sucks.
Trash.
The other day, it got scary. I got a phone call from them over an issue with an order, and I went short. Everybody went short. The whole chat. Before I hung up, I was like, "Everybody go short on train. I gotta pick up this phone call." I was like, "Short
Did
T."
it actually? Did you guys actually profit?
Dude, Austin shorted TT, dude.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah. I gotta deal with this mess. Sorry, I'm gonna have to come back later. China faces increased downward pressure.
Dude, these ring cameras.
So Garrett, that's your cue.
What do I do? What did I happen?
It says China downward.
China down?
Yeah.
No, Garrett, China
All
down.
you need is 2 words, bro. It's China and a direction, and Garrett will just short it.
Yo, Apple rejected its 9-day moving average, low volume. Kind of a bear flag. Look at the 5-minute here on Microsoft as well. But again, nothing. Yeah, I don't see any direction quite yet. Look at the 15-minute candles too.
The 15-minute candles look just bad.
Let's not forget Baidu, thanks to Bill Huang. We milked that thing, and then we milked it down.
Dude, Bill was a goat that month, man.
That dude was a goat, bro.
Was
So,
a goat that month.
He's the
by the way,
greatest.
the Dow is building into that 33,470 target I gave you guys.
Yo, Spy took out the pre-market low.
Apple's rejecting off that 9. Got to engulfing the previous 5.
Yeah.
Microsoft's 15.
Target.
Go ahead.
Target is coming. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sorry, Tesla's diverting from SPY drastically. How are the Qs doing on your end, guys? I don't have a chart up for the
Qs
Qs.
are super choppy. But SPY is leading. Not really. The Dow is leading, SPY is following, and then the Qs are there staggered.
Okay, let's see what Amazon's doing. Amazon's kind of pulling back a little bit. Might take Amazon short, honestly.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna go deal with this little mess at train. Alright, take care, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Alright, later, bro.
If anything happens, please. If the market is just dying, can you text me? Like, man,
Maybe.
okay, nice. Garrett, please, you.
Okay.
Nice. All right, John, you're my last hope. No, you're gonna tell me, Manny, don't short the market. There's no liquidity. All right, peace out, guys.
One could take an Apple short here off of that, but you're still getting close to support. You did just break 160, so kind of want to take one, but no. I actually was just watching UPS though. UPS looks like it could take another.
Bro.
I think 180
earnings Tuesday or Wednesday for UPS?
Yeah, Apple looks like it wants to go down and hit 157. What'd you say? Tuesday on earnings?
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? Do you remember?
It's the 26th. It's tomorrow.
26th.
That's what. Huh?
That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to short it so bad. Because I think their numbers are going to be really bad.
There's a couple companies that I think Apple's actually going to reverse it. I think Apple will go back.
The only thing is that I would be shorting into a really strong support. That's the problem.
Yeah, you would be. That's I'm trying to avoid doing that right now. And that's the important thing is to know where you're at.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like if you don't zoom out and look at the broader time frames, the bigger larger time frames, then you're screwing yourself. Cute antelope, I am not.
Wait, what?
I don't trust the price action just yet, like because there's no volume. Like volume is completely zapped out.
Yeah, and that's
I am in SPY, but I'm back in SPY light. When I took profit on the last exit, when I told you guys, I got back in a couple minutes later. but it was a risky entry. That's why I didn't want to signal it. I'm watching Amazon. I'm not 100% sold on Amazon going short just yet because of how, especially how Tesla's been trading.
I think one thing to do here, everyone, is this is where you start setting alerts, right? You do zoom out and you do start setting these alerts because it is really easy to get sucked into these lower time frames. And one thing I was just about to say, and that I've noticed from new traders and sometimes even advanced, is their strategy, right? Scalping oftentimes will influence their actual analysis where they're watching the 5 and the 1 and they're trying to make trades with longer expirations or trying to think they're thinking on a longer higher time frame but actually analyzing the shorter time frame, which doesn't give you an advantage. So hold on, I'm actually watching Apple now. Apple is heading to 157. I think I gotta take a 157.50 put here. Risky entry though. Snap has a gap at $28 today, so if it does reverse, same thing there. But again, I just took one on Apple. But here's the thing: when we see environments like this, the best thing to do is to watch. Unless you're trading in a trending market or a trending sector, sit, watch, analyze, especially those of you who are new. Don't try and make it happen when the market, and this is last week was a great opportunity to make a lot of money. And this week could be too, but we have to make sure that we're kind of being cautious when the market is behaving and trading this way. So don't take it personally. It's not you, it's the market. It's not you, it's me.
Not you, it's me.
It's not you. QQQ upside. Let's see. I mean, this is a big sport, but truthfully, 320.30 is probably where we could see. And I mean, like, so one thing to take note if you're watching my stream, look at this candle here. Okay, this candle, like the whole downtrend was an absolute dump. And if you would turn this candle red at one point, essentially that's what it looked like. You had that extremely, and that was likely a gap down, I imagine. And that's why you get that big reversal. But once you do hit your support, like that's likely, and we're getting really, really close. So there's a little bit of money to be made there. But as far as the QQQ is concerned, I would say anywhere below 323, you've got 320 flat even, and then ultimately 318.50. UPS is heading to the downside. I've been thinking about taking a UPS strike here. Hold on one second. Are you in UPS, Alice, by chance?
No, but I've been wanting to short it. I haven't jumped in yet.
So, okay, so the bad thing though is next week's because of the IVE, it's not
Or
good.
next week's crazy expensive.
I would say even this week is pretty expensive for UPS. Yeah, outside the money is
How
$800.
much? What are we seeing?
805, 840. Usually those are $300 contracts.
Yeah, that's like literally double plus.
Extremely weak trading here on Tesla. Look at those. Look at 5. Look at those candles. So right below that 985. Oof. Yeah, I don't think I'll play that. No. I'm good. Pepsi. Let me see. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? It's 420. 420 doesn't phase it. Okay. I would say Apple now above 160.82 and below its current mark right now. Tesla bounced right off of 985, right off of it. It's reversing to the upside. Anybody in anything that they want me to take a look at? I have a Apple put, which I will hold. I'm going to show you guys right now what I'm thinking on Apple, or what I'm watching on Apple. There's Tesla. Ooh. So little wedge, actually on the one lower time frame. So if you take a look at that. So a reversal for Apple, which it likely is about to hit, it could happen right here at 160.35. And then above 160.77, you're likely going to head to 161. So Microsoft does kind of, I mean, look at the 15-minute candles. Again, you've got waning volume. So you're losing volume right now. And you haven't made much of a move. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if UPS is going to have a bad report tomorrow, but I don't really trade Pepsi that much, but below 169 double top. Target would be 166. That reversal will happen below 170. So below 170, man. So right now we're still in trend. Do I see a head and shoulders on Microsoft daily and weekly? Yes, but don't let that overly influence you quite yet.
What the? Oh, that looks like a.
Yeah, do I ever give options in here? Yeah, there's just not trading the book right now. Like there's not much. And that's what I am in, I'm already in. So yeah. I agree with you, Top Shelf. There's Tesla gap fill. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at Apple to potentially break this, which means it could run to 161. So I may cut my put. Let's see how Tesla behaves at its gap. Volume is rising right now. Is anybody in Tesla to the upside?
Volume's increasing a little bit on SPY as well.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it's increasing for sure. And so is Amazon.
I don't want to buy the dip of Chase puts today. How do I feel about airlines next week? Got some pretty large gaps to fill, and statistically speaking, they love to go and fill their gaps. So I'd say you might lose 50. If you lose 50 and 49.75, I would venture to guess that you're going to see some retest, possibly even filling your gap to 47. Apple's going to head up to here. Guys, I grabbed an Apple call. And if we get a rejection here, I'll cut the call for break even and continue to hold my downside position. So both of these are speculative and small entries before I actually take a position if I do. Microsoft is giving us a really strong 15-minute candle here running right up to resistance. The only thing is the strength isn't in volume. Still holding a bear flag. you don't see something, don't take something. If it doesn't look good,
don't
you go
force
feel,
the trade.
yeah, don't force the trades right now, guys. There's not like Tesla gap fill right there was money. If you took that, the gap just filled on the dot, so you know weekly's probably printed right there. But right now we're still in range. Ceiling becomes the floor. We're right now we're testing the ceiling. We need to see if we can break it and if we can push above it. Microsoft above 277.50, easy money. Apple above 160, I would say 160, 65. Also money. Look at that right there. Look at Apple. Wow, incredible. Someone tried to take a big short before we even hit support or resistance. Look at PayPal. Is it possible to turn $100 into 500 in one day if you know what you're doing? Yes, 100%.
Turning $100 into 500.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
Yeah, top shelf. I don't think that we can go full red. I think we could see maybe a little leg down. Maybe we test some supports, but I don't see full El Dumpo either. Not yet.
And here's the thing, bro. So Friday, when we jumped off live,
Mm-hmm.
Gamma was at negative like 48 billion. Okay? And some contracts expired in the money with a decent amount. And then this morning we get up, we're roughly at 48 billion again. And some contracts expire and they're currently in the money right now. So, like, price action is saying it's going to be a chop fest with some potential downside, but support is so strong, and then you have all that negative gamma below you.
Yep.
So it just Friday didn't make sense. Like I went short, and we made some money off going short at the open. We're like 10 minutes into the open, but like it continued to just absolutely die.
Mm-hmm. All right, there's
And
Apple.
it honestly should have bounced based off that, but we'll see how it trades today.
I need the candles to close here. Look at Apple. Pattern is crazy. If look at that rejection on micro, well, not micro rejection quite yet, but you tapped that 176 perfectly. All right, Apple's pushing to the downside. Apple below 159 even, and there's a 157.50 target potentially. But again, we could be setting up for continued chop, if anything. And if we are, guys, we can come back at power hour and possibly find a better direction. So take a deep breath. You don't need to force anything right now. And set your alerts. Is it 5-minute falling wedge? That's not a falling wedge quite yet. It has a flat bottom. All right, we're staying below that 5.9, so right there. Yeah. It's more of a wedge. Or not a wedge. Excuse me. What's up?
No, I was saying, you know what I'm noticing? I'm not seeing as much options volume either. Like equities volume is down and options volume is down today. Which is typically you see equities volume down, but options volume kind of still stays, decent. But like it looks like it's a lot lower than that normal for a Monday. So food for thought there, and also like make sure if you guys are entering into something that there's liquidity on it.
Yeah.
10:15, 10:16. If we don't get any nice like major moves in the next 15 minutes, it might be chop all the way to lunch.
We just filled the gap on Tesla, and we are getting a rejection. Apple is currently sitting at support, and Microsoft is currently sitting at resistance. Hot dog water.
Best kind of water. Trading your purified water for hot dog water, bro.
Who's hot dog soda? Should be a thing. Hot dog syrup. All right. Well, you know what? Let's consult the flow. What do we got? Option flow AI. We got an Apple 155 put coming in at 9:33 today, 429.22. That's this week. Those are there. Might be out of that. I'm gonna actually cut my call on Apple. This is a descending triangle, so let the put ride. Putin.
Food for boots.
Puts on Putin. Boots on Putin. Boots on Putin. Let's see. XLF financials 916 through 35 strike. Put, excuse me. Call strike on snow 180 429.22. That came in about 1010. That's where you the money. All right, there's Apple, guys. You can add to Apple, but it has low volume, so I'm not really gonna add to it at all. I'm not actually gonna do anything with it. I'm just gonna wait because right now everything is poo-poo. Yeah, so I can tell you guys right now that there is not a lot of money coming in right now. I'm not seeing a lot of flow. Looking at dark pool right now. Where's ye old Charlie?
Ye old Charlie.
QCOM got a lowered price target to 167 by Morgan Stanley. Oh, they're way below that. Beating a dead horse there. There's Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft is actually starting to try and touch its pivot, which is 170 or 277. And then right now, Apple is also bouncing for the third time off support. Fuck a duck. So, the chop ensues.
Oh my god, dude, the shock fest on this crap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't let me lose. I hope nobody's losing money right now. I hope everybody's either sitting on cash or in light positions that aren't going to cause them to have to work harder later on to recover it. So to remain patient.
Dude, I'm green for the day. Like,
Oh, I'm green on swings. I swung into this.
I
Yeah.
might just walk away, bro. Like, I don't want to lose money in this chop. That's the only thing. Like, I see a couple setups, but like, if we're not gonna get any major movement, then power hour or right after lunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just as curious as you are right now. Trying to figure out where this is gonna go. mRNA is that hot dog. This is a low volume day for Monday. Yeah. Echo on all.
Very low volume day for him.
I think Voldy was talking about it. Or no, he was talking about Pfizer. Let's see. No, the volume is go zoom out a little bit. 4 hour. I will say though that the next leg down below 138.50 and 130, you've got 138.50, and then you've got 135.88, and then you've got 133.24.
Yeah.
Yeah, just volume wise.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, there's look at Microsoft. Look at the 5-minute pivot, 15-minute pivot.
What is that?
On what?
A candle
On what?
on Microsoft.
Oh, that's a rejection right off of that mark, dude. Look at that money.
Just can't. It's a little volume.
Market makers.
Yeah. No, you're right. Watch this thing. Oh, you notice how it's holding up way better than everybody else? Apple's straight from dog cross. How's Google figuring that? Google's actually.
I'm Apple. I mean, at this point, it's Apple long 160, 30 and 160, 70, and Apple short low of day. Wait, where's pre-market data? Got us at right now. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. No, yeah, we are at lows.
You're in the sport.
I don't see pre-market lows. Oh, there we go. DWAC continue to fall. Yeah, that's a good investment. DWAC puts. Everybody should have one. Just kidding. I've had them since the start of the rising wedge. As soon as I saw the rising wedge, I don't use my TD Ameritrade account, but I did. That's where I bought the DWAC leap, and yeah, this is the rising wedge. Once I saw this,
What are you percentage wise?
I'm up a lot, dude. I'm up around. I don't have it up right now, but I was up around 1,700% this morning. So I still have 3 months left. So, but yeah, this is the DWAC. I'm gonna hold it until I think it goes lower. I think it falls down to like teens. Yo, Apple, what the fuck was that?
Spy delivery.
Literally on the dot, dude. Money.
Yeah.
So that's why you just wait, read, and react.
Do DWAC could easily get down to $20.
Facts.
It should honestly be trading in, which is $10. This has nothing to do with Trump. I'm just making this.
Oh yeah, this has yeah, I would short any company. I don't care. I mean, if
Yeah, they could be Biden's company.
it could be Moses, dude. That's a little extreme, dude. You're kind of a stock extremist now. You're shorting your mom's company. Have you guys seen Elon's harassment of Bill Gates, dude? It's kind of funny. It is very, very funny. I was gonna say funny. Guys, I took an Apple. Took myself out of Apple. What did I just sell? And I'm probably gonna hang on to a 165 and call it a day. We're up against resistance right now. Damn, red to green, dude. We called that to the money. That's what's up. So SPY has a sub. Okay, so first of all, the gap fills at support. So if you guys are looking at my screen right here, I'm gonna before I step off, and we'll be back, guys. I by myself right now, so I'll hop right back on in just a little bit. But you know, keep it simple. If you're going to trade, which you do not have to, because there is not much going on, in my opinion, at the moment. other than a lot of indecision and a lot of chop. But above 423.78, you'll notice I have this white line right here. That is our support that we broke. Now, anytime we break support, you guys know the deal. We got to test it. And so that's likely what is happening now. While I say that, I say Apple could and more than likely could retest 162.44, and also SPY in cooperation driving that up would probably hit and fill close to that gap around 425.50. But yeah, set your marks. If you are or go ahead.
Very light, long position with stuff. Very light, I'm moving literally in like 2 pounds.
Okay.
That's it.
What's your strike?
Right now I have the visible backer. Which is supposed to be that. I have the 423 falls, expiring limit.
Got you. We have a perfect box on Apple right now. This is actually kind of interesting right now. The setup that is we got. Monday, definitely a weird open. Yeah. Definitely a weirder Monday. I will say, a little low volume. We're getting that reversal that we were kind of anticipating. And this is a good example of why we do not always take things just because of technical patterns. There's got to be some other layer to it. Because if you looked at Apple,
The density is increasing.
okay,
Is that Charlie?
yeah, punched him in the neck this morning. That's why he sounds different. Not kidding.
So it stays at
It's an increase.
Morgan Stanley throwing out everyone's price targets are dropping on lots of stuff right now. Snapchat reversing, Tesla's moving up. I say Tesla 10 12 70. 10 12, actually 10 12 even.
Reynolds said, "No doubt that we have to replace the fire with pulled off because the Russian invasion of the Ukraine."
Of the Yukon. Pre-market highs. Remember, I think that personally speaking, playing at the bell, you should know where your pre-market highs or lows are at. But Apple's pre-market high is 161.42. So just keep that in mind as a potential place for continuation to the upside. So, all right. Well, I grabbed it.
So we get 10%, I'm gonna start growing. But really, just let it go, because it's mainly a pure spin. I got it. It's kind of basing how oversold we were on a daily, and then the amount of negative.
Reynolds says, "Yeah, if you want to inject million barrels of Russian oil off the market."
So I just typed it out in the chat. You guys could screenshot it or something, but stay light when you don't know and take advantage of it when you do. So in the times where you see indecision, small accounts, you can't do this. You just can't because you're going to bleed yourself. But if you have a reasonable size account and, $20, $30 scratches or scratches because you're just trading, it's just a part of the process, you can keep it light, right? And those become your original entries. And then you can switch it up if you have to, take smaller L's.
0.1 in April versus 8.7 in March.
Pre-market highs on Apple coming up here. Baba is currently holding what appears to actually be a kind of a bear flag-ish setup right now, but little 5-minute channel. It's in the right. It's in a wedge actually. So watch.
12%.
No, you're fine. Watch below 181.87, or excuse me, I'm sorry. 84.24 and 83.50 for Baba to pull back.
We are in the money, ladies and gentlemen. We're rocking. Good
Yeah.
job, buddy.
Yeah. Apple's just pushed above that pre-market high, guys. We're going for the gap fill here at about 10 cents or 20 cents, excuse me. Tesla's going for my target 10.12, 10.10, 85, somewhere in there.
I have Q's, getting to 335 and change, I'm taking profit at 330, I think it gets there. Tough day, had to fix dropping, failed at our, target level. Add point will be 46.06. We have a tradable market right now.
Yep.
You gotta be quick though, gotta be quick.
Woo! Apple. Get it. Yeah, guys. I think from every single admin too today, we gave it to you guys as far as the possibilities though and trajectory. Top shelf, everybody. We have levels, for confirmation, but red to green is exactly. You can't expect for these supports to just crumble, especially after rushing down towards them. Pretty crazy Monday though, as far as direction goes. So I'm excited to see what these hourly candles, 4-hour candles close like. See what we get from there. If you guys take a look at the Apple candle right now,
$0.17 options, that thing was moving ahead of earnings, so it's.
yo, Rolly, yo, look at that setup. Oh my God, that thing's gonna rip. 123.85.
It's poised.
If it can close and start curling up from here, yeah, no, that actually has a pretty cool setup going into earnings. That's a daily falling wedge right there, which is typically a reversal pattern. So, the third test.
It's still gutted, man. Stuff that just still throttle it. At some point, if it has any viability long term,
It'll bounce.
it'll catch it. Somebody's gonna buy it. Well, it will. But that's moving fast. Yep, don't add your VIX. Just do not add your VIX. We're reversing.
So,
You starting to come in now.
mhm. Rolly, I question for experience. So would you say due to the environment that we have right now, earnings could be a reason why we float and then also be the reason why we take that next leg down? Like the whole season itself, because I think like a lot of these supply chain issues, a lot of the issues overall that we're having, inflation, et cetera, are going to show up on a lot of earnings reports and possibly even send us down further. But
Circumstances last few quarters. Now we're getting great. The good companies are still making money, but they're selling off. Things haven't been re-rated. Earnings won't take us higher. You're right. Earnings will continue to be strong for your best companies, but their guidance down because you're not running on the same comps, and then plus you have global GDP slowing down, and then we're slowing down in the U.S. You have to know what's going on in China, but we're slowing down in the States. Energy is an X factor for me. Should have absolutely crushing prints. And then you got summer blends, which are energy's gonna be fine, but if you're playing that thing short, have to see a major downstream player sell off. I can't see how people sell off with
just don't see it. But the fake pools are getting smoked, man. You better have a lot of bearish protection. Market's going to be at a bottom between now and June. This is not going to be already in the fall. I mean, we're gonna bottom out in the next 2 months.
What's your thoughts on the whole China lowering interest rates and increasing the amount of money they're printing?
Yeah, did you see what I posted on the diversion between what the Japanese are doing?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Better on the banking side.
I saw it too.
Folks think that everything's baked in on the Fed side. Really smart people, 5 million times smarter than I'll ever dream to be, maybe in my next lifetime. People are counting on what the Fed's going to do. That Fed's getting pressured from all sides, politically, everything. So everything's not baked in. The smartest people that I look up to in life on the trading side, I'd say probably about half, 50%'s baked in. So I mean, we're going to see some rock'em sock'em. Hit the Nasdaq. I think that's gonna go so low to rip your face off. And I'm short. I'm short on equity on the equity side in a big way. If I'm wrong, I'm not out of business, but there is no upside, man. There's no catalyst. It's still earnings.
Especially with just how much they're gonna have to start guiding down, and then also they're seeing a large increase in marketing spend, which all your big social media plays in the Nasdaq are going to get hit if marketing spend across the board is increasing.
Absolutely correct. And then I saw something this morning. I don't trade. I think Astra, you guys have done great. I don't think I've traded UAC. I've never traded UAC. But just with Twitter maybe closing today, that's a monetization story. Of course, it's great to level the playing field, both red and politically speaking. But your other company is going to get killed. But they'll have to monetize Twitter.
Yeah.
I think if somebody can do it, if Elon can come in and figure something out. What I'm hoping he doesn't come in and do though is try to make it to where it's a purely and I get the phrase people makes sense where it's a purely free speech play. He doesn't really focus on profits. He's gotta focus.
I wouldn't even.
That needs to be.
Yeah. You look at 95% of the posts come from less than 10% of the people. So I mean, it's too lopsided. Yeah.
That's true.
Whether you're red or blue is immaterial. You can't have just one avenue where they get to post their narrative, and then you're considered a really bad person if you have contrarian.
That's if you want to do that, then you start a news station. If you want to monetize political stuff, like and I agree. I think that if Elon was to step in, yeah, that's true. All right, we're pulling back here a little bit. I was just saying we're pulling back just a little bit here, guys. Looking at Apple, I want Apple to stay above 160.70, so we can continue to peruse up here. But again, price action, stuff like that's a little wonky. So if you have to stay in cash or do whatever makes you feel comfortable until we get the direction that we need. So I'm green today from the swings again, and then I did take Apple long. But I'm only up 10% on that.
Sorry. I mean, guys, we're an hour 11 minutes in the week, which is it's a lot of trading. So
yep. Be patient.
Volatility is high, and it's and so you're going to see whipsaw moves. I do want to know. Back a few weeks ago, we were seeing all of our moves the last hour of the day
Facts.
I can't remember how many trading days in a row. It was unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah, that's something to consider as well.
So, there's a ton of money sitting out there. It's such a trillions with no place to go. Bonds made a little money. I think it got made. TLT maybe made $1.90 moving, and they drifted back below 150. That got pretty beat up. You've got to be nimble. If you're an equity buyer, I would be waiting to buy your equity. I was waiting to buy your equity. I am as a big player on the equity side. You're going to get shit on fire sale here shortly. The market's not going higher between now and here. We're gonna be across the board. IWM. I mean, we had the 210 level, lose the 210. I think they take the whole market with it.
Yep.
Lose it out IWM here. I mean, God. And you seen the flip flow on top of the 36,000 contracts. I can't remember how many million it is. There's too many numbers flying. Like the put side in June on small caps is horrific.
Yeah.
It's accelerating. So there are no dip buyers, at least institutionally. So it looks like big money's expecting a market crash between now and June.
Oh my God.
I'll give you another at least 15% on the S&P. You're only down to 7. We're looking at 20% peak to trough.
Ooh. There's some cash to be made, man. I love me some red candles.
Yeah, and tech. I mean, the only thing holding your mega caps, you'll lose that support. We've already lost the market winners: energy, utilities, healthcare, fertilizer. And those sold off. Those are starting to recover, but those will be earnings stories.
Yeah. Yep. I just saw.
Until base. So how do you survive? How do you survive for the next 2 weeks? As a trader, like I just need to survive. Not profit, not see more red. Yeah, move to the upside. Don't make any big moves right now. Directionally, you're going to be wrong unless you're just going to fully bear up. There are no catalysts. I've said it for months now. There's nothing taking us to the upside. If the war ended, I'd be shocked, but that would be probably a week-long event.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change things.
The long term. Yeah.
No, nothing with that.
I agree.
It's told me like a rock star ahead of the print. So low day is 80.35. Yeah, lose 80, and I'm gonna be not so happy. But that's strong. There's strong supports holding on a lot of your biggest companies.
Yeah.
Making them money.
Yeah, I'm still in Apple calls. I'm still green on them. I'm out. Like I did. I just took today's trade. I just took it around the 160.30 mark and traded it up to the 160.186 with a next week's contract. So I'm just watching it right now. It's boxed up. It's hit resistance, popped up above pre-market highs, and then just failed to hold it. So if it continues any lower, I'll cut. I'm green on the day though. I swung AA puts, which I have a long. And then swung Apple puts and Baba puts. So I started a day green of anything and everything that I've taken has only been speculative day trading entries and exits. So no real positions happening quite yet. So, but yeah, I got those Apple puts. Yeah. Earnings. I want to. Thinking about how Apple may do on earnings. I'm going to take a look at their last earnings, see how their guidance was, go over some of the. I've noticed an increase in supply chain articles coming from them, and I know that they've mentioned the Shanghai lockdown and stuff like that. And so I think that might be worth looking into going into earnings as well, because that's going to be exciting earnings.
Yeah, the talk about locking down Beijing, I mean, that's, I can't refer to anything like that, but they're, trailing people up, and I haven't seen anything since early this morning. What's going on in China is frightening.
It is actually,
Right.
yeah. There's no good way to put that. It's just flat out scary. Flat out scary. They got the. I saw one video. They got the.
Let's zombies do not play, man.
And they have those robots that go around now with they're like human robots with speakers on their faces, and they're on the little what are the feet boards that kids ride, hoverboards or whatever.
Quads that control the street.
I've seen those too, yeah, and then I've seen the little hoverboard ones. They're like segways with no handles, yeah. But I saw one of them eat it. But other than that, yeah, that the whole thing is pretty bizarre. And then I also follow an American journalist who's living in Beijing and was in Shanghai during the lockdown. And yeah, his his recap of that was, I was like, okay, that's pretty scary. So yeah, they do not play. It's like a giant North Korea, except not as bad. Not yet.
Get your bag ready. Look at your runs from CBS.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It'll be all right. The Monterey Super Cycles, I mean, absolutely still in place. Doesn't feel like it today, but
You got earnings on Vail today, right? No. When is earnings for Vail?
oh, ballet.
Follow. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Q Hunt. I do not try. I do not try and. He harasses me about the way I pronounce things. I used to call it Alcola or Alacola. I don't know. Hey, as long as I'm making money on them, I don't know. The pronunciation is
Commodities fine. You're sure you're gonna. That,
what do you I'm curious. I did see some video of Ukrainian farmers frontline still planting wheat. Thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. They're still trying to push forward on that. Oh.
considered the breadbasket of the EU. It makes us so. I think it's all right. But we are just and
Bank of America. Oh my God. Yo. Damn.
where's that?
36.24. Jeez. Crazy.
Rivian, inside the.
Sounds very nice. Like a lot of
Romeo, India.
they start defaulting on loans for frank closer to this. Gotta eat him alive. And banks are gonna be lending money to people that can't pay their bills.
Facts. One.
So that'll slow their roll.
A lot of lowered price targets today. Morgan Stanley's on a roll.
Oh yeah, Mike Wilson has us go to 0 base. I wouldn't bet against him. He's been bearing through the whole side. So he's straight equity player.
Yeah.
Trade options.
Largest list in rare earth company North Rare Earth is located and poses a citywide static management. Puts all residential communities under closed off management after a report of 2 COVID cases. Look at this article headline I'm going to post in the chat. I don't know why whoever coded this, every time I copy and paste it, it always does that. Drives me nuts. There, I'll just copy it that way. Yeah. Yeah, they are not playing, man. About that COVID thing. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna hop off here for a little bit. There's nothing going on for me except for watching these hourly candles close. As soon as something happens, or we actually move through a range, then I will jump back on. But I'll be back on probably before Power Hour. The only thing that I'm watching right now and that I have a order ready for is a BABA put. You can use next week's. I'm looking at the $80 strike. I'm actually going to go out 2 weeks on that one. But what I'm going to do is below 83.45. I'd like to take that contract and then add to using weeklies below 82.75, rocking into the $81. So I'm done correcting. Nobody likes a grunt. I thought that was pretty. That was a nice touch. You know, everybody needs. You know, it doesn't. It's not a community if there's not one person. You know. Oh, nice job, Adam. Nice job. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Shout out Top Shelf. Thank you, man, brother. Appreciate you, Atlas. I don't know if you're still on. You're not. Um, but how do you know a candle's closed? The candle. Well, if you're on the 5 minute time frame, you can actually put a timer on it. But it's every 5 minutes, and as soon as you see a new candle open, that candle is not closed. It's not a silly question. It's just a beginner question. It's all good. It's not a community here if there isn't a person we all hate. Sorry, we have rotating hate. It'll go back to opposite. All right, guys. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Peace.